welcome back to another video. And if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Nandria. So in this video I will be talking about what I use as a grad student to like take notes and basically be a student. I don't know what else to say. And I don't really use much. I literally only use my iPad and my computer. I have a textbook, but I really don't use it. I only use it when my professor assigns homework, and he only assigns homework. So far, he's only assigned homework from the textbook twice, and one of those times he sent the homework to us, so I really haven't used that textbook, so I'm not even going to include that in this video. So yeah, these two things are basically what I use to function as a graduate student, and specifically an online graduate student, online, because I do have one class in person. I'm going to try and screen record on my iPad. Hopefully it comes up, because if not, it would be really sad if it doesn't. So I'm going to put it over here, or I'm going to try to put it over here. So let's get right into it. So I literally only use my iPad for school. I got the iPad Air, the latest model, which I think is like the 7th generation or something like that. I don't know how it goes. And I got 32 gigabytes rose gold. I didn't think that I would need more than 32 gigabytes because I literally said that I was only getting this iPad for school. Like, there's nothing else on it. So I obviously have my text messages and stuff because it just syncs because of Apple, but I don't really use it for that. Like, I have barely any pictures on it or anything. So for my my work screen, I have Microsoft, which I have my PowerPoint, my Word, my Excel. I have Drive, Box, and Docs, and those are where I put like all my drafts of my papers and stuff like that. I have Zoom, but I haven't used it because I mainly use Zoom on my computer. Dictionary for when I need words. And then Speechify is this app where you can import files on it, and then it will read you those files. So for Speechify, when I have these long papers that I have to read for class, I would import them into Speechify and just have it read it to me while I'm like either doing something or writing notes. So it kind of helps me get through the readings faster, and then when I'm reading it before I'm even taking notes, I kind of have an idea in my head already of what the paper is going to be about. But I haven't used it a lot because I just find it better. I just kind of like it better when I read it for myself. But those times when I am pressed for time, it does come in handy. So that's what I use Speechify for. But then my main stuff is here on the bottom. I have Canvas, where I have all my classes. And I only have 3 classes, but I am a TA for 2 classes. And then graduate students are incorporated in these, like, they're orgs, but they're really just like professional development, where they share what's going on, like talks that you can attend to, etc., etc. And then the lab that I'm part of, it also has a Canvas page. So that's why there's so many pages on here, but I really only have 3 classes. So what I would use Canvas for is I would check the syllabus to like see what readings we have for that week, and that way I can know what readings we're doing. Or for like stat, I can get the lecture PowerPoint to incorporate into my note-taking app and stuff like that. And then for my policy class, it's the same as the developmental class. I check the syllabus to see what readings are for that day, for that week, or like what assignments are coming up and stuff like that. I don't really use Canvas as much unless I'm doing TA stuff. Like for my TAs, for my TA classes, I would grade assignments or like check if people have done assignments and like email them if they haven't done, stuff like that. And then also Safari is just where I get all the papers. It's kind of like stuff. It's kind of like stuff, whatever. Then I have files at the bottom, and it's where I just access my files. So I separate everything into as many groups as I can just to keep myself organized. So okay, it's not showing up on here, but on my computer I have the folder grad school, and it's separated into classes, paper drafts, important documents, all that stuff, so that I can keep everything like separate. But on here it's not, whatever. I have my rent payments that I put on here, investing stuff that has their own folder, and everything like that. And then mail, I have 2 separate mails. So I have my personal mail and then my school mail. So mail, I have like my Gmail and my regular Outlook. those will go to my mail. And then my Outlook for school, I have the Outlook app, and that's strictly for school. So that has my faculty email and my student email, and that's where I go for my emails. I have it on here and on my computer because depending on where I am, I might need it, and I don't want to go to my, like if I'm on my iPad and want to check my mail, I don't want to have to go to my computer. If I'm on my computer and want to check my mail, I don't want to have to go to iCloud, if that makes sense. So yeah, my mail, it just has all my other stuff, and yeah, so that's all the non-school related emails that I get. And then lastly, Note Shelf. Note Shelf is basically the bread and butter, you guys, of what I use. So I have two categories. I have classes and personal. Personal is just when I do my journaling. And this one you need a passcode, which is something that I like in Note Shelf, that you can set a password for certain things. And then my classes. So, okay. It looks a little disorganized right now, but I promise you it is organized. So I have my classes, which are this one, and this one. So in those groups, Note Shelf calls them groups. So in those groups, I will have the notebook for that class where I take notes, the syllabus, and any other important documents that I would need. But that's really it for those classes. Like for the stat, I also have an online version of the textbook just in case I do need it, but the versions don't really match up that much, so I don't use it as well. So that's what I will have for that. And then all the other stuff around it are just the readings for specific topics that are going to be covered for that week. So for example, Nation at Risk readings, my policy issues and reading class, we had a week where we just talked about nation at risk. So these were the two readings that were assigned for that week. And then for my developmental psychology class, we had a week where we talked about gene environment processes, and these were all the readings that were for that week. So that's basically how I organize all my notes. Now for stat, where we don't have any reading, it's just like a bunch of information. I have one where we have the lecture PowerPoints, and then the lab PowerPoints, and then that's it. Yeah, so I have the lecture PowerPoints and the lab PowerPoints. Now, why do I have those two things separate? It's because the lecture PowerPoints are much thicker than the lab PowerPoints. Like the lecture PowerPoints, they're like 100 slides versus the lab PowerPoints are like 5-10 slides at most. So I separate them that way. Also because when I'm watching the lecture PowerPoint on Canvas or whenever, it's good to have the lecture PowerPoint like adjacent. I'll show you. So I would have my class notes, and then I can do dual screen and pull up the lecture PowerPoint, and I can just go back and forth between them because he talks pretty fast when he doesn't talk fast, he just like goes through the slides pretty fast when he's talking, because he's not really thinking like, oh, people are taking notes, because he's just recording the lecture, which is understandable. But for people who are taking notes, it's kind of pretty hard to take notes and pay attention, so you have to like pause it and stuff like that. And I use the PowerPoints sometimes so that I don't have to pause it as much, because I have the PowerPoints here, so he can go on to the next slide, but I can finish writing my notes on whatever. So that's why I have that. Also, the dual screen and Note Shelf, it's very convenient, because sometimes like we're in class and we're taking notes, but then our professor would be like, so what did let's say, I don't know, what did one of the authors say in this article about this certain topic? I wouldn't have to exit my notes. I can just do the dual screen and have the article on one side and my notes on the other, and I can just answer that. And also, if she makes a good point, I can write down that point and connect it to that article, if it makes sense. I'll show you. So say for example, we have the Latin Billings article. I can pull that article up, and if she asks a question on it, I can either pull up the article and then make a note about what she's saying, or I can make a note over here based off of what she's saying on that reading. So it's very convenient at times. I also like how Note Shelf takes notes, because not only can you have multiple pens of different length, size, width, color, whatever, but you also do that for highlighting. And then also when you erase, you can either erase the whole word, or you can only erase highlight. I don't think I have any highlight. Okay. I don't think I have any highlights, but sometimes like you can have a, let's say you have a word and then you highlighted it, you can erase so that you only erase the highlighter. And that is very convenient at times. You just have to make sure you check that. And if you don't want it like a whole stroke, so say I write this, that is one stroke, but say you can erase that one stroke, but say I only wanted to erase a part of that, you could also do that as well. So Note Shelf is very flexible, and also another thing that I love about Note Shelf is that you can do an audio recording. So that's very useful in my policy class, because I'm not used to policy, so when she's saying those important things on policies and I can't write fast enough, it's okay because I have the recording or whatever. And you can record for a very long time. I accidentally once left it on, forgot to turn it off, and I left it on, and it recorded like from me going to class, coming home, going to the gym, all that, like 6 hours worth of recording where it's just silence. So that's also very good. You can delete pages over here. You can like rearrange them. You can bookmark some, so like if you want to look back but you only want to look back at important things or things that are important to note, you can bookmark them. You can search through all the pages and it'll highlight those words that you're searching. Yeah, and it imports very lengthy stuff. Like I had one paper that was 40 something pages and it imported everything so easily. You can also export things very easily. You can export things as a Note Shelf file, a PDF file, or a PNG. And then also you can even select the pages that you want to import. If you want to import 1 page, 2 pages, the page you're on, all of it, like it gives you that options. Also, another thing that I like is this, I don't know what this is called, but this is something where you can like write more specifically and be on the page. This is, this has also come in useful sometimes. If you don't want to do that, you can also just zoom in on the page. Like it goes pretty deep. Another thing, you can change the page template. They have a bunch of templates on here, and you can also add your own templates. Like I incorporated my teacher's STC chart and her compass. Those are things that she wants us to use while we're in her class, so I could just pick that and then it'll just set that as a template. You can also get free downloads. Literally, they have a whole bunch of stuff that you can get for free. You just need to make an account and you don't have to pay for it. You do have to pay for the app, but it's a one-time payment, and then everything else in the app is free. I hope that's clear. If not, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's how I use Note Shelf. I mainly use it just to take notes and write stuff. I'm gonna start using it to write my meeting notes, because I keep forgetting what I go over in my meetings, and it's starting to be a problem. Okay guys, so I literally just learned how to screen record on my computer, so that's good. So yeah, my computer is basically for like the hard stuff that I can't really do on here. I have RStudio, and that's what I use for my statistics class to code and run code and learn how to run code. I have a lot of like downloaded stuff on here, but RStudio, it's a package kind of sort of thing that you need to download. What else? I have, let's just check the Launchpad. I have Microsoft, PowerPoint, all that stuff that I can do on here. Sometimes you can't really see all the features and the fonts and all that stuff on your iPad, so I come on here until I get the bigger picture, and I can also do work on PowerPoint a bit faster on my computer than I could do it on here. So, and also another great thing about Outlook, it syncs everything. So I can work on my computer and it will sync to my iPad, or I can work on my iPad and it will sync to my computer. So it makes the process a bit easier. Okay, I also have Outlook on here, like I said. I have Zotero, whatever. One of my lab mates recommended it to me, and it's basically this storage system that stores all your articles. Well, I will be using it for articles. I think you can store it with files and whatever you want, but I'm not going to open it because I haven't started using it yet because life has just been a mess. And then I also have SPSS, which is another coding software, but I'm more familiar with SPSS, but I was told that learning R is kind of better for your future academic career. So I'm basically sticking between both of them. Also on my computer, this is how I learned how to screen record. I always have my emails open, my calendar open, and then Canvas open. This one I was just grading the other day, so that's why that's open. And if you guys have seen my vlogs, my calendar, I basically set it so that I can know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's also kind of flexible. Like right now I'm recording my YouTube videos, but I'm also going to be doing work right after this, so it's just to have a sort of frame to keep me structured. But then if something needs to be shifted somewhere, I can do that because I can see everything for the week and see what's done. I also have a physical calendar that I can see like big deadlines, so that's good as well. Also I have iCloud Drive on here, and this is where my grad school is separated. I don't know why it's like that. That's weird. But see, I have important documents, proposal drafts, classes, papers, research, all of the I don't know why they're like this. I don't like that. But yeah, I separated them into different folders so that I can keep myself more structured. I do that also so that if the time comes and I need to find something, I know exactly where it would be. I mean, you can search. You can search, but it just brings up a whole bunch of stuff. So it's just better to just be more specific and see what's in all that stuff. And also on my computer, I have Zoom, which was obvious because that's basically how we do everything now. And it's easier to use Zoom on my computer than on my iPad because the screen is bigger for one. And two, they always send the Zoom links via email. So it's just easier to just pull it up from there on my computer. But yes, you guys, this is how I live a simplistic lifestyle. I have 2 things that I use on a daily. It's super lightweight as well. Like, this doesn't hurt my back at all. The reason why I went paperless was because I was tired of carrying around notebooks, and I always just had so much stuff to carry, especially with like folders and stuff like that. But switching to paperless has been like 100% has been 100 times better than I could have imagined. Like, things are just so easier to get, and I don't have papers everywhere, and I'm not losing stuff. So this was much easier and a much better transition for me. If you guys have any suggestions of other things I can use to help keep my life more organized, like apps that I can use for storage and stuff like that, please comment down below and let me know. I'm still like transitioning to a paperless student. Like, all through undergrad I was a paper student, always writing on notes or whatever. I tried typing up my notes, but I didn't really like that. But with the iPad, like having the pencil and being able to write, it feels much better, so I'm actually good with that. But I still don't know if there's any other apps or stuff out there that can help make it even easier. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.